Hey everyone, I'm William McCluskey from Proper Channel. I'm going to show you how Proper Channel can help people in education, teachers, faculty members, even students. Before we get started, while we wait for people to join us, I'm going to go ahead and kick off a video. This is by Tom Wejcik. He is an instructional designer, basically someone who writes educational materials, and he did a great analysis on how to make good education. We've built our tool off of a lot of his same research. So I thought it would be a good intro video while we wait for people to come on in. So I'm going to hop over to a screen share, and here we go. Okay. Hey guys, we're waiting for people to join the YouTube video right now. Excuse me, the webinar. So hopefully you are seeing the Tom Wejek's how to make toast. And if not, that's okay. We're going to get started in about 1 minute, just making sure that everyone's coming into the room. Okay, it looks like we're going to get started. It looks like the YouTube screen share isn't working. Sorry about that, but we will go ahead and kick off. All right, so welcome to Proper Channel. I'm William McCluskey, I'm the founder, and today we're going to tell you a little bit more of how Proper Channel can help educators. So this is students, teachers, administrative people, even volunteers. We've got a tool where we can build communities around sharing information. So let me go ahead and kick off our slideshow. And here we go. Like I said, I'm William McCluskey, and by all means, we are a big believer in community. So if you have any questions or if you need any help, by all means, send me an email and I'd be happy to meet with you one-on-one to help explain the tool and solve any problems you're going through. So today we're going to cover what is Proper Channel, and then we're going to talk about how to actually start your account. Where's a good place to begin? We're going to talk about some of the benefits that we can provide to educators and what specifically should be things you document. Where do you get the most bang for your buck? We know how busy people in education are, so don't try to boil the ocean. Don't try to do everything at once. Focus to where you'll get the most impact. So before we get started, yes, this absolutely is free. It's not a free trial. It's not a freemium model. Everything on Proper Channel's public tool is free, visible to everyone, and editable by everyone. We're not trying to lead you on. We're trying to provide you with tools to make the whole world a better place. What do we do? Basically, Proper Channel is based on a lot of educational research, and we think we found the best way to have simple, easy knowledge transfer. So we take information from the people who've already experienced things and already know how to get through complicated bureaucracies, and we allow them to scale that information to everyone who's interested in that technology and in that path in the future. That way we don't have to set up one-on-one meetings where I literally, just like the picture, take my brain out and give it to you. No more hand-holding. I can document my experience, and then now people can come when they need the attention and need the help, and they can access my information whenever they want. On top of that, not only can they see the path that worked for me, but they can actually improve on that path if they find a better shortcut. So before long, we find the absolute best way to get through any process, and all of us perform like experts. So we mentioned that we base this off of a lot of educational research, and what Tom Warwick was saying is anytime you're explaining a process, you need to tell them what to do. What are the nodes and how do they connect? That's very much the first one. And in this camp, you have a lot of instructional design experts saying how important it is to visualize the information. People need to see exactly what the first step is and know where to move after that, and give them the logic of how to move from one to the other. And this is where flowcharts come in. These people absolutely love flowcharts because it takes any complicated process and it removes the noise. It only shows you what's immediately relevant. There's this common problem called the engineering school problem, where kids will spend 4 to 5 years in a really good engineering school studying all these things, and they graduate and they don't know what to do. They don't know how to start a project. They don't know where to begin. They don't know how to get a client. So they have all this great information and all this great training, but they don't actually know how to apply it. This is exactly where that step-by-step guide, that visual overview comes into play. Unfortunately, if you just have a visual overview, it doesn't give you the detail and it doesn't teach you how to actually do it. So yes, it says, make sure you renew your passport. Okay, great. How? And that's where the rich media comes in. Depending on the subject, you need detailed reports, you need videos, you need online forums, all these different things. And surprisingly, this has been broken up into two camps. They've been competing for quite a long time. What Proper Channel has done is we've actually combined both into one document. So we take all the mess of, just reams and reams of information and data, hour-long videos, hundreds of pages of manuals, and we break them down with a top layer of a visual overview. And then when you click on any shape, then you get the rich media detail. People are absolutely willing to put in the work if it's relevant, but they want to scan and jump around until they find that relevant information. People are efficient. They don't want to waste their time. And so by combining the how-to, the visual overlay with the rich media detail, it gets people to the relevant information faster, which makes them more engaged in the process. And when we say it's easy, we mean it. This is Nikolai. He is 6 years old. He was using our tool in 5 minutes. If Nikolai can do this, your students can do it, and your administrators can do it. Anyone, this is well within your means. We've spent so much time and energy to make this as simple and as convenient as possible. So quickly, just to recap this section, information to people who need it, get expert performance by copying the steps that the experts use to get through it. Absolutely easy tool, and we tell you what and how to get through any process. So now you know a little bit more about Proper Channel, but how can we actually help you? What's the impact? We're going to give you an example. The Museum of Florida History, which is a nonprofit and has tons and tons of school field trips, we went in one day and we mapped out 3 of their most common processes. In the bottom, how to book a group visit. The top left, lesson plans. So how to find lesson plans for your students after or before your field trip. And their biggest one, how to become a volunteer. Thousands of people were interested in becoming a volunteer, but hey, how do I actually make this process happen? So we went in, we spent an afternoon, we mapped out these 3 processes. When we originally started this, those 3 processes took roughly 80% of the volunteer coordinator's time. By providing self-help, we've removed the burden from the volunteer coordinator, and now that only takes up 20% of her time. The interaction before went from someone asking a question and the volunteer coordinator having to hold their hand, walk them through all these painful tools. Oh, sorry, our website's out of date. Oh, no, that phone number is not accurate anymore. Oh, I know it's confusing. Now, with step-by-step guides written by Proper Channel's software, they were able to hop in and say, oh, it's really easy. We have a step-by-step guide. Let me know if you have any question. And they don't hear from them again. And not in they don't hear from them again as in they quit the process, as in the person can self-help. They schedule their own volunteer times, they schedule their own field trips, and they get their own lesson plans. And the next interaction is this very positive thing. And what we're really breaking down is we're allowing things to break out of silos. Things that are living inside of your brain that you wish other people knew, now because it's documented, they can have access to it anytime they want, and you don't need to be there to help them through the path. Roughly 3 charts saved the volunteer coordinator 80% of their, moved 80% of their time to only 20% of their time, significantly less conflicts, and now suddenly they have a surplus of volunteers. So how do you get started? Well, first things first, you have to know your school. Know what's taboo, know what's necessary, and then keep on moving forward. And then you need to look internally. How do you spend most of your time? What's your biggest time suck? What do you wish that other people knew? And then finally, find turnover. So in knowing your school, everyone says, it's not the teacher's responsibility, it's not the parent's responsibility, it's not the student's responsibility, it's the community's responsibility. So you need to know where are the pain points and where are your people who will champion your ideas of trying to streamline process in your school. The first thing first, right off the bat, no one is going to want to participate if it sets off their creepy meter. So by all means, don't share sensitive information. If this is something that isn't ready to be published, if this is private internal information, don't use Proper Channel. Put that in a private walled garden and help people with other things. There's always some sort of process that someone will need help with. So find the ones that are going to resonate and have the least amount of resistance. Then when we mention, building a community around the idea of us sharing information with one another, good people to target are anyone with a coordinator in their title. This is a lot of your assistant principals or, school board members, or even people on the PTA or PTO, depending on your region. One of my visual cues is anyone who walks around holding binders. So this is pretty much every teacher out there. They have a lot going on. They have a lot of information, and they like things in order. Also, people like myself who are chronic Googlers. They want to know how everything in the world works. Well, few things are as appealing to someone like that as knowing exactly how to get through any sort of system. And again, over and over again, I can't say this enough, build a team. Proper Channel is a collaborative tool, so by all means, don't feel like you have to do it yourself. Almost all of us, when we have a new class for a semester, there's at least 4 parents who are willing to put in the extra time. This is a great task for those parents. They can do it on their own. They can do a first draft of your lesson plans, your emergency plans, your policies for what to do if you have a sub coming in. They can do a first draft of these, then you can go home and you can see what works the best. Know your time. This is the one where I'm going to tell you, be selfish. Focus on the processes that will save you the most amount of time. And a good tool is, a good way to distinguish what will save you the most time is find those tasks that you spend a lot of time explaining, but people, if they knew what to do, they could easily do it for themselves. This is simple things like, how to check your student's grade, how to check for homework assignments, how to check attendance records, all these things that are usually available through a web portal or some other online source. The parents usually ask the teachers, well, I don't know how to do that. I'm going to need you to do this for me. Well, instead of putting yourself in the middle, document it once, and then now you have ammunition to allow these people to self-serve. Think of Proper Channel as making a pilot's checklist for any sort of task. So if there's any critical important process that you can't make a mistake on, why not write down the steps? Personally, at Proper Channel, I use this for onboarding new employees. Signing them up for emails, giving them permissions to all sorts of different administrator roles. I don't want to find out, 3 weeks down the road that this person has been waiting on something that I forgot to do. So I go through and show step by step exactly how to sign these people up. So if you have anything that's critical, very much something like, what do I need to do to call in for a substitute teacher? You're probably sick, not feeling that well. Okay, well, map out exactly what the steps are, and that way you can walk through it and you know that your class is going to be taken care of when you yourself aren't feeling well. Another big popular source for making Proper Channel charts and guides is frequently asked questions. Anything that you get, bombarded with over and over again, now all you have to do, hey, I wrote it down. Why don't you find your answer all by yourself? And this is actually a great skill to use on your students as well. There's a lot of people in human behavior who say, intelligence really isn't about how much you memorize. That's trivia. Where intelligence really comes in is, do you know how to access information? So by you providing them with a great resource for finding answers, it also kind of encourages your teachers your students, before you have questions, why don't you go and you see if you can find good qualified information all on your own? The other thing is scale. What do you have to do over and over and over again? And here are a couple of ideas. New training. If you regularly have interns, teaching assistants, or volunteers, hey, here's exactly how I want you to submit grades. Here's exactly how I want you to do attendance. Or here are the things that I need every single time we schedule a field trip. Any new customer or visitor communication, anything that you do over and over again, this is a great opportunity to remove yourself from the process and again, let people self-learn. You'll hear me saying that over and over and over again. And finally, one of the most common problems, troubleshooting technology. If there's a printer in your school that always needs, a paper jam removal, or how to resupply the toner, give people instruction. That way, they don't always bother the one person who's done it before. And now they save time, and that person who is the troubleshooter, they aren't interrupted all day long. So be sensitive to information. Invest your time, don't spend it. Find the things that are going to give the most back to you. Build a team around developing these ideas and find things that scale. So, told you a little bit about what Proper Channel does. Then we moved into what sort of things should you be looking at to document and move forward. Now we're going to actually move on to the tool itself. We're going to show how to create an account, claim a tag to organize your information, and how to ask for help, getting teammates to verify, and also feel free to lean on us. We built this tool to help build communities, and so we want to invest in your communities as well. If you have any sort of questions, we have interns. We'd be happy to help you make your first few charts, and feel free to contact myself with any sort of questions. So let's take a look. Hopping over to Proper Channel. So first things first, if you don't have an account already, it's incredibly easy. You just go over to the login, click on that, click your create account button, and you get to pick your username. I'm going to go with demo, put in an email address, and pick a password. And that's it, you're registered. That's all it takes. We're not going to sell your information. We're not going to bombard you with all sorts of emails and things like that. This is just to provide a way for us to keep information and provide you with customizable experiences. And what I mean by that, let's go ahead and look at our user profile. Right now we have no analytics because it's a brand new account, and we have no flowcharts that we've created. But as I create information, it's going to be all documented in the same spot to make it really easy to find anything that's important to me. I can also favorite charts. So if it's something that I haven't authored but has been authored by someone else and I think it's important, I can just go ahead and click favorite, and it'll be saved in my profile from then forward. I can also follow people, and I can see who is following me. And right away you see that this guy, William McCluskey, has already following, I'm already following him, and he's already following me. Let's go ahead and check out his profile. So we see here that William has created 255 charts. Of those charts, he's gotten 327 upvotes. So 327 separate people have said, hey, your information is relevant to me, and I really appreciate you making it. And I think I misspoke. It's not 327 individual people. It's votes on individual charts. So you see that he plays some ultimate frisbee, how to repair a flying disc, and he probably has some sort of association with FSU. Well, I do. I'm an alumnus from FSU, so I've done a lot of information for them. We can go ahead and click on some of those flowcharts and see how these things work. Like we said, we've combined the top overview, the how to get things done, with the detail we have the top layer of what to do and the detail of how to actually get it done. So we click on this, we have links to email addresses, we have all sorts of additional detail, links to outside web pages. But all this is set and good, screenshots showing you exactly where to click. But let's go ahead and look at an educator. This is the Ignite Duval page. They're spending a lot of time trying to make good information and resources for other educators. It's led by Sam, and Sam is an AP over in Duval County in Florida. And he's just been an absolute resource with all sorts of great tools and ideas to improve a teacher's experience. Let's go ahead and look at his open source ideas. And Sam makes really good, really clear charts. We'll go ahead and start. You see that he's added on there a list of other outside resources. He has a link to blogs and lesson plans, and we can just go through and find everything we need to build really good instructionals. And okay, I think I see how things work. I can share it with my friends, or I can upvote it as well. This looks like a good chart. Let's give Sam some credit. And let's make our own chart. I name it. I tag it. And I could put, my own class and things like that. So anyone searching that tag would have a collection of information. So infos class. And then I build it. Everything is drag and drop. You just drag over the shapes from the left-hand side, add in a decision, connect it by clicking the connect shape button, the start shape, and then the end shape, start shape, end shape. And let's add a branching path. And editing text, you can right click or double click. Do you want to make toast? You can also edit text on lines. Oops, I misclicked. Yes. And no. Learn from the best. And I'm going to insert a video here. Oops, sorry, wrong window. There we go. Paste in the embed code. You can also use the link. And there we go. Let's save and exit. And now we can click through this chart and see the video play for ourselves in Proper Channel. What I like to say is Proper Channel doesn't try to replace your existing tools, it connects them. So if you have a learning library, let's say you found a really good presentation on SlideShare, and you know of a really good educational video on Khan Academy, you can direct your students to those resources when they need them. And it doesn't have to be, hey, go to Khan Academy and then search for this and then link on this. Now you can embed that information right in our flowchart to get people to the relevant information even faster. So here we go. Now I would want to know if anyone has any questions. And all right, it looks like we're pretty good. What's different about Proper Channel? I think I already answered that one. We connect resources and we let you share information back and forth. I'm an administrator, what about me? That's actually a really good one. Administrators are all about policies. Hey, this is the official way to get things done. Here's exactly what you need to do. Well, now instead of having to sit down in resource meetings during teachers' planning periods or before after school meetings, you can document these things, send them out to your faculty, and now they have step-by-step guides to get through everything. And if you can ask any teacher out there, the easiest test to grade is the 100%. So if you give people more tools to perform better, then it's going to save you time as well. How do I start? Just go ahead and register for an account and start building. And if you have any questions, go ahead and email us at Proper Channel. You can email myself, wmccluskey@properchannel.co, and let me pull that up. Here we go. Show you that. I'll put it on the page of this event. All right, so if there's no more future questions, then I think we will go ahead and call it a day. Thank you so much for watching Proper Channel's webinar for educational users. And by all means, stay in touch. Thank you.